Welcome. My name is Ray, and I have a website called The Handyman's Haven. And on that website, I build, I show people how to do different things. I do projects in the workshop, I do projects in the kitchen, I do kitchen tips, I do a lot of RV videos, and this is one that we're going to do today. It's part of the training series, so we're going to do part one of our Cyberlink Power Director 18 tutorial for beginners. Now, I've been working with this software for about a year now, and I am fairly proficient at it. I don't know all of the things yet. There is so much resources in here, it'll take you probably years to figure them all out and figure them how to use them. But I will show you in the next several episodes, because there will be more than one, there's a lot to learn here, how to get started as a beginner and start making some fun little videos for yourself. Now, it's like anything, it's just like an instrument. The more you practice, the better you get at it, and you'll remember where to find the resources and the functions that you want to use. So we're going to start off with how to get your files onto this screen. First comes up, it looks pretty impressive, and it is impressive. So we've got to get some files onto our screen that we can work with. And the way you can do that, there's a number of different ways. Down here in the middle of the screen, now you see, every once in a while you see this little white circle here, and that's just directing your attention to the part of the screen that I'm working on. I just simply use my control key on my keyboard. I have it set up so that I can identify this area. So it says here, click to load media. So you can click this file and up comes your desktop with all your media on it. Now you can go and you can find the clips that you want and load them in a whole file or just several clips at a time. Or you can cancel this, go up to the top and hit File and come down to Import Media Files or Folders right here by clicking on that, and you get the same screen again. So there's several ways of doing it. I don't use any of these. I'll just show you quickly what I do. I operate with two monitors, and might as well show you at this time what those monitors look like so you see what we're working with here. 3, 2, 1. Here's my setup just to give you an idea of what I'm using. I have my main. Now, I purposely did not edit this video to let you hear my countdown. You heard that at the start of the video. We'll play that once more. 3, 2, 1. Now the reason for that, and you'll see that as you go along, and you can use whatever you want to signal yourself when you're producing your videos. I count down and then I leave a little bit of a blank space. That allows me some editing room when I get to my editing software so that I can cut this video so that it'll cut out that countdown, but I can cut it perfectly as to where I want it to start. So that's the reason I use that. Just one of my things I use. So I'll just show you here what we're working with on the screen. Here's my setup just to give you an idea of what I'm using. I have my main monitor in front of me here. I have my secondary monitor, my headset microphone, and when you see me bringing files in to the main monitor, I'm grabbing them here and just dragging them over like so. So it's handy to have two monitors or a really large display so that you can keep your resources off the main monitor. Over here I'm bringing in the screen recorder, and that's the screen recorder 2. It comes with the software
the Power Director software so that you can record and both video and audio of anything that's playing on your screen. So that's how I'm making this video, this tutorial. Okay, let's get on with the work here. We've got lots to cover.
Okay, there you go. You've seen how I work with the two monitors. I keep my files, all my clips. Let's bring this in and show you. All the clips that I want to include in the video that I'm working on are in this file. And it's a good idea to sort them, get rid of the ones you're not going to use so it's not going to be too confusing for you. And if you want to put them in a particular order, uh, then you can go ahead like I've done here. And I've taken all my these are pictures, slides, video, introduction, and so. And you can see here on my first one, I've labeled him 001. I'll skip this guy just for a second. 002, 003, 004, or 003.1. That's the one we just looked at, my two-screen setup. And it's out of order, but I've already used it, so it's done. I don't really care. And I'll just leave that one alone now. 004 and so on, all the way through. So some of these can be a little bit out of order, so that's why I've got my little handyman saving logo up here. I forgot to include him. So I wanted him to come in after my dog, but before my first video. So I labeled it 001.1. Okay. The name Z Temp Handyman's logo, that's just my own file name for that particular file. So you can name your files whatever you want. But I find this the easiest way to bring in my resources because I can kind of collect my resources in my own mind off screen and then bring them in as I use them. If I brought all of these resources in to my media, oops, hit the wrong one here, get them back. If I brought all of my resources into my media library here, I'd have a pretty full library just to get started. If they weren't in any order, I'd have a little bit hard time getting them organized. This, by doing it in a file on another computer, or if you want to just use this particular computer, you can see it's so much easier to work with than if you were working in your little media library. All right, are you confused yet? Let's just start and we'll show you what we're going to do here. First off, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this audio right here. We'll bring it in. Okay. And I'll tell you what this project's about. So get rid of that. So whatever you put in here in your library, media library, you may have 4 or 5 uh, clips in here. The one that you click on shows up in your display screen and we can play. I've clicked on that one. It's right there. This is our play button and we can play. Okay, this video that I'm making right here is how to make use of a carabiner on your dog's leash. There you go. I'm just explaining to you what this video is all about. We're going to remove this right now because we're not going to use this audio. That was just to explain what the video is all about. So to take anything out of your media library, click on it like we have already and just hit your delete key and it removes the file completely. Okay, trying not to forget anything. First off, before we bring anything in, let's just show you. Actually, I have to bring something in order to light up my controls. So here we are. So we'll bring in file number 1. I just drag and drop. File number 2, drag and drop. Now, I'll just give you a hint here. We'll get rid of these two. delete. There's another way you can do it as well. You can drag them directly onto your timeline. Okay, here's our timeline down here. Our first track is our, with the film here is our video. This is the audio that can be attached or not attached to your video. As we go down, we've got an effects track. We have a second video and audio track. We have a title track. We can add in titles. And then down here, this is our audio track for narration. So I'm using my headset microphone to do any narration that I want to do on this video. Okay, we were talking about, okay, you can bring your file directly into your library and then sort it there. Or if you know where you want it, grab my little puppy dog here, I can drag it right onto my timeline. Right? It's put in the file and it's added into the library. And if it has a green check mark, it's just telling you that that file is already on the timeline. The check mark doesn't limit you in any way. You can use this picture over and over again if you want to use it more than once. So we'll grab my little handyman. We can do the same thing. Put him right there. Now, the handyman, I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to do with that. I'm not going to use him on the this particular track. We're going to use him on another track and we're going to adjust. So let's just back up here. We're going to get rid of that. And there you see we clicked on our handyman and we've got him right here. Okay. Now, I like to start out my videos with a little bit of a black screen. That kind of, you can start your music while you're still at black screen. Kind of adds a little bit of a dramatic effect, and people are settling down to watch your video. Maybe you're showing this on a TV in your living room and you want to show it. Well, it doesn't hit the right into the video contents right away. Gives you that little bit of space, the black screen, and some audio to get people's attention. Okay, it's playing. Let's have your attention, folks. So we're going to take these out of here. Now, you can just hit your delete key to remove them from the track. It does not affect the media room, other than it took the check mark away. Now, your little dog here, the same thing. We're going to highlight here. We're going to delete it, and watch the check mark will disappear. Just telling me that that file or picture has not been used yet. So I talked about a bit of a black screen or title. Now, you can use a black title with no writing in it, or you could go to, there's another little library here. Now, I don't want to scare you too much, but see this little blue arrow here? That opens up a whole bunch of new stuff that we can look at. This is pointing at our media content, so that's what we're seeing right now. If we go to our color boards, ooh, now this looks fun. You can grab it right here. You can extend it out. And you can use any of these solid colors as a background. So if you wanted to put an intro in blue, you could use that, or in black. Now you can also use background images. I'll just show you this quickly while we're here. And that gives you, you can see your image over here that we've selected. It's kind of a wallpaper. Starry lights. Moisture. Got a travel video you're doing. There's a jet plane taking off. Okay. You've also got a clip called background music. Now I'm going to let you play with these on your own because there is a ton of stuff in here. So we can pick some background music. Say we get, we'll try this one here. As soon as you click it, highlights it, come down to our controls here and play it. Wow, that's a sweet beat. I like that one. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. You can select them by category. There's piano, world music, piano, rock, jazz, classical. So these are fun to get in here and play, but it takes a lot of time. And you can also add sound clips. Okay, you got an air horn. Try that one. Okay, okay. And there's all kinds of express your projects that you've done in the past. You've got express projects, so we'll just close that up for now. Okay, and we'll go back to our media room. Now we could have done that in here. See, we'll just go up to media content, open it up, and we'll grab that. There we are. So you can see that I'm not decreasing the size of the playback here. I'm just opening this up to give us some more real estate to add our clips in. Let's just start off. Remember we talked about starting off with a black screen. So we'll go back, we'll go into our color boards, and we're going to grab whatever color you want, but I want a black screen, so I'm just going to bring that down, and we're going to start our video with the black screen. Okay, close that off. We're done with that. Done with that. Go back to our media content and close our little sidebar. Okay, so I have, if you look down here on your timeline, right across here on the top, I have approximately just over 3 seconds of black screen. So let's actually play that. Now, to play that, we go up to our bar here, and I'm trying to figure out why it won't play. Oh, here we are. I've highlighted the clip. When you highlight the clip on your timeline, then your controls light up. So this is your play control. This is a stop and return to the start of the video control. This will drive you nuts, this one here, because when you hit it, you could be partway through your video. If you hit it at the wrong time, your cursor and timeline marker will move right back to the start of the video. But anyway, the main ones you'll be using is the play control. We'll just use that right now. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I'm just going to leave it at that. And you can see that it ends at 5 seconds. So you can go in and set the settings for these templates, and it has been by default set at 5 seconds, not 3. I was looking just, this is just an approximate on the timeline. And if we go back to the start of this clip, oops, let's just try that again. You can use, maybe we'll show you these later on when we get some clips down here. You can use this as jumps back one clip at a time. This jumps ahead one clip at a time. See how it's moving back and forth here. Okay, this is a fast forward. So the more times you click it, you can go up to 16 times fast forward if you want to scan through your video real quick. And then notice up here, and then just watch the top corner here. When I click this once, it tells me we're going 2 times. Okay, we'll go back to the start. If I click this twice, it tells me we're up to 4 times. So you just keep going, just click it up to you get your 16 times is your maximum on it. Okay, let's start with our video here. So there's our start of our video, And now we want to bring in our little dog, our pup here. Now, just to give you an idea, um, you can make templates in your photo software, uh, whatever photo software you have. I make this in Microsoft Publisher, where I can take a image from, this is one in particular is from Google Images, and it is a free clip art, and I add my own writing and titles in here. And it's a bit of a teaser. It's about be directed to the RV uh, people, recreational vehicles, and it just asks you, you're back at the RV, now what? You've got the dog, he's just crazy. He's had a great walk, and now what are you going to do with him while you try and get into your trailer, or if you're carrying an armful full of groceries, it's going to be a little difficult. So that's what this little video is about, is how to use a carabiner to assist you in this area. Okay, he's going to be our next little video here. So I can drag him down like this, put him on the timeline. We'll delete that again. Or I can click. As long as my cursor and my timeline marker is right on the end, and I click, right click, it says insert on the selected track. There we are. So that's quick and easy. And because this is a still image, it's not of any particular length. You can go down, you can see the hand here that it lights up. Okay, you can move it along anywhere you want on your timeline. And if you want it to go a little longer, right here it tells you in the little box, it's duration of 5 seconds. If you want it to go a little longer, you can grab it here and you can drag it out as long as you want. See, up to this marker here. So I've dragged it out a little bit too long here. We're going to shrink it down a little bit, like so. So go ahead and we're at, as you can see by the little, when it pops up here, it's 11:01 seconds. So let's just play that and see if that's going to work out all right. We'll just see for timing here. Okay, I don't like that at all. It's deliberately a little, I did that deliberately to go a little long to show you that the start of your video is very important to get people's interest right away. So the initial black screen is a little too long. So I think I'm going to cut that back to about 3 seconds. Okay, so we'll grab it right here and we'll cut her. And if you notice, as long as I keep my mouse down, this little the little box stays open. At the very bottom you can see I'm at 4 seconds, 3.26, 3.02. There's 3 seconds right there. We're going to leave it right there, and we're going to ask it to trim and move the clips, or trim and move all clips. So we're going to call it to trim and move the clips because we want our first slide here to jump right in. So let's just quickly play that. Okay. Good. I like that. I'm not happy with the length of the dog clip here, but we'll fix that shortly. Now let me just show you one other thing. When you highlight your video here, it's always showing in the screen here, and you can do some other things with it. The dog, as you can see, uh, fills the entire screen top to bottom, but not side to side. Now, this is a screen, your black screen here, in behind. Let me just get off of that for a second here. We'll go to the black screen. This is your 16 by 9 format for the televisions that we use nowadays. This dotted line in here is called a safe line. So if you want to be sure and have something show up on the screen of a 16 by 9 TV, then you want to try and keep, if it's printing or something very important or a logo, you want to make sure that it stays within this dotted line. Okay, but you can fill the full screen. That's not a problem. So we'll go back to our doggy. I'm going to throw these tips at you as we go because they're coming up in my mind, and I'm trying to not go too fast. I'm trying not to bore the people that already know some stuff about this, but there's some people out there that are truly beginners and don't know what to do. Okay, so we're going to have to determine how long we want the little dog up here to see how people are going to react to it. So let's go in here, we're going to play this, and we're going to actually read what it says. And I'm ready here all the time, ready on this little triangle to play and delete. We'll do that again. Sorry, I just wanted to show you. So as soon as I play it, I'm going to stay here so that I can stop the video where I want it. And I'm going to read out what's on the slide, and that will give me an idea that makes sure people are able to read the entire thing before it disappears. So here we go. Back at the RV, now what? And I stop it. Okay, that's where I want this first slide to end. So we're going to trim this. Now there's several ways of trimming. If I click on my slide here, grab the box, and as soon as I start to trim, you'll notice the little marker where I wanted to end off jumps over here, and I've lost my trim. Where did I want to trim that? Oh, so we're going to back up to the top here. There's an undo arrow. Okay, we're going to play it again. Back at the RV, now what? Okay, there's where I want to trim to. So somehow I want to mark this, and I'm going to use what's called a timeline marker. There is a timeline marker right here that I added on this track earlier when I was playing with this, trying to get before we started here. So I can use this one. I can just drag this down, put it here. Or if I click on the little triangle, you see right here, if I right click, it says add a timeline marker, open that little screen. You can give that marker a name if you want, if it's specific that you want to keep a name for later. It shows you where on the timeline it is at 6:20. But the quick thing you do is you say, okay, give me a timeline marker. Okay, now you'll see right here. Now we have a marker. So when I grab this end to shrink it, to trim it, the cursor will jump, but there, okay, I don't really care because I've got a timeline marker and I can go right back there. As soon as you see the blue line, you notice the blue line dropping down, marking all of the clips, that's telling you you're on your marker. You can let go, and there it goes. We've just trimmed it. Let's go back. We're gonna undo that. Here's other way you could trim it. That's where your marker is. You don't have to worry about a timeline marker in this case, but that's where your cursor is. You want to stop it there. You make sure that the clip is highlighted. You can go up here to, it's called split the selected clip. You can click that there, and it's cut it into 2 clips. Now whichever part you highlight is the part you can delete or move. I can move this piece out of the way, or I can right click on it and say remove, or the quickest way for me is I highlight it, hit the delete key on my keyboard, and it's gone. There you go. Okay, now I want to have a little bit of music, because when you play this, pretty boring just to look at a black screen and a dog introduction, and then okay, thanks a lot. It was pretty boring to that point. So we're going to go to our file. Okay, I'll bring it over so you can see what I'm doing. So the next thing I want to do, and I've already gone ahead and picked out my video, or sorry, my audio that I want to use in here. It's from the YouTube audio library. It's right here in the file. It's called Mysteries. So I'm going to just grab that, and I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to put it on my audio line right here. Okay, see, we have audio coming across. All right. Now I want to trim this because I don't know whether the audio is starts out low, slow, whatever. So we'll just listen to that very quickly here. So you see there's quite a fair introduction. So you can see down here on the timeline the waveform. So I can drag my cursor over to here, right? And I'm going to highlight the clip, and I'm going to delete. Sorry, bring that back with my back arrow. Highlight the clip, separate the clip. This is the portion that's I want to delete. Delete that. Just going to remove it, and now I can drag my audio over to the start. So now we go back and we're going to play our introduction. There, we've made it a little bit more interesting. So we're going to cut it right here again. Clip is highlighted. Split the clip. Highlight it. Delete that portion. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to have this audio still play over top of my next clip, and you'll see just shortly what I'm going to do here. So we'll go back to, if you can use your previous segment arrow. Oop, went too far. Oh, it's clipping here. It's not recognizing this one, so we'll just simply click on it and bring it back. Now we're going to get our next slide here out of our file, and that is my welcome to this video. Okay, I'm going to bring that in, and I'm going to just put it right on the timeline there. Okay, we'll move our bin, our file out of the way. Okay, so here is my pre-made template welcoming people to my website. And we're going to play that. Well, welcome back to my subscribers. And if you're new to my website, I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, you saw what happened there is that the video played and the audio was way too loud going over it. So what I'm going to show you how to do here is to edit this audio clip right here using what's called keyframes. Now there are transitions for fading in and out in your transition room, but they only work on the video clips themselves. You can't use them for your fade in and fade out. So what we're going to do is use a keyframe, and that we want to mark the video. Actually, I want the audio to start declining back here. I want it to fade to nothing. So wherever the cursor is, you hit on the title bar here, keyframes, go up to volume, open that up, and it shows you a little screen here showing you where on the audio you're located, and that's exactly where I want the keyframe. So the little diamond here, you can add or remove a keyframe. So add a keyframe, puts a little diamond there and a little dot on your audio in the timeline. Now, there's two ways you can do this. I can drag this. Sorry, it plays so loud when you drag. Okay, we're going to go back here again. Go keyframe, and we'll drag that to the very end, right? And it's showing you that it's going over top of the video. And we're going to add another keyframe. It's a little confusing. Once you get into it, it's not that bad, but that's basically all I use this for, is for my markers for my audio. So now you see, as soon as we hover over the dot, right, we can either raise or lower that audio in that level. So we'll go down here to the end, and there's our end there. We're going to drag that down, and you see what it's done. It's tapered off the audio to this point. So if we go back to the start, let's go back to the start, and we're going to play this and just see how that sounds. Well, welcome back to my subscribers, and if you're new to my website, I hope you enjoy this video. So that worked out perfect. That sounded really good. It's tapering off like that, just sort of blends it all together. Okay, we're going back to our bin. The next one in line is the introduction to the Handyman's Haven. This is a bit complicated introduction I'm doing here, but I'm doing it on purpose so that it gives me lots of things that I have to do that I can show you what to do. So next thing is to add in our introduction. So we just drag that down, put it in place. Okay. And we'll go back a little bit and listen to this here. I hope you enjoy this video. There you are. That's the introduction to my website. So we're going to stop this part one right now. Look for part two. I'll try and put the links in the description of the parts. I don't know how long it's going to go. Obviously more than one part. So look forward to seeing you in part two, and we're going to continue on building our video.